Okay. Go. Hello and welcome to Espresso with Saul. So today, I thought I'd show you a more up-close, in-depth look at my Elektra Casa Leva. I'm going to show you how I make espresso for myself in the morning, which you've already seen, but I'm going to give this to you in a little bit more in-depth on how the machine works and what I actually do to get it working. And then I'll also show you a little treat on what my wife likes to drink. So stand by, come on over, get a little bit closer, and I'll show you how this works. So obviously the top here comes off to reveal the boiler screw top. This is a boiler system. It essentially heats it up to 1 bar. We have a pressure gauge right here. And once this is heated up properly, this will heat it up to about 1 bar. And then when the lever is actually applied, it will go up to 7 or 8 bars, I believe. Typically what you want to do is fill it up about 3/4 full. You can see here to the left the water level in there. So this is about where I typically fill it up to. And at that point, I turn on the lever and I wait. Now, since I'm posting this up on the Espresso with Saul channel, and we haven't really done anything with this yet, my thoughts on the channel were when we were more off topic of firearms. Maybe we had something political or current events to discuss. Honestly, I just didn't want to lose the name, but I needed a more, how do you say, a direct name for my firearms channel. I thought Espresso with Saul was a little bit too vague for it. But in switching the name to Espresso and Guns with Saul, I thought we should really hang on to this channel name and everything else because, this is where we started. So, tell you what, now it's going to take about 10 minutes for this to heat up. So before we wait for it to heat up, let me show you over here the grinder that I use. Now, I'm going to fully admit that people who are real coffee people, unlike myself, who I guess I'm more of a pretend coffee person, they're going to say, oh no, you need a burr grinder, and it needs to be something other than this Breville bean grinder. Now, yeah, that might be the case, but this works perfect for what I want it for. It's a burr grinder, so it grinds the beans the way I want them ground and the way I've been told people should grind their beans. Obviously, it doesn't have the multiple different levels that maybe a more expensive $1,000 bean grinders out there, but right here you've got your shot selection here, 2 shots, 1 shot. You've got your grind size, and you can go down to 9, 8, and in some of these it will even do a half. And then of course your grind time. I have to make different adjustments with each batch of coffee that I get, and this coffee bean that I've got right now, a grind time of 10 seconds and a number 10 grind size has been working perfectly for me right now. When I get a new bag in, sometimes I will play around with it, and sometimes it'll be an 11, which is actually, the bigger the number, the bigger the bean grind. And the smaller the number, the smaller the bean grind. And this goes all the way up to, I don't know how far it goes. A drip coffee will be up around 40 grind size. A perk coffee will be around in the 50s. And a French press coffee is going to be up around 50 to 60. But down here around the espresso mark, apparently 10 is still pretty small. I've actually had some coffees that I've managed to get it down to a 6 or a 7. So that's a very fine grind. And okay, the espresso maker is ready to go. And bear with me with my Shatner-esque pauses, as Paul would say. I haven't had my coffee yet. I've been waiting to have it in order to do this video. I don't want to get overly caffeinated today, so let me show you two different baskets that I have. I just recently picked up this one, and I've been using it a little bit. This is called a bottomless basket here, and this is the one that came with my espresso maker. Now, I sure wish the bottomless basket would come with a wooden handle and more of a brass holder for the basket, but it doesn't. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make my cup of espresso this morning with this, show you how it works, and then I'll make my wife's the way we normally do. So here we go. This basket does not fit in the grinder near as well as the other one, so I actually have to hold it. We have 10 seconds of noise here. Okay. Now, this is actually a deeper basket than the other one that I'm using. So the leveler doesn't work near as well with it. I typically, if I'm going to use this bottomless one, I would use the basket from the other one. But for demonstration purposes here, that's about all the farther that it locks in. So I lock it in. I get my cup. Now, the bottomless, obviously disperses it a little bit different. And the pressure, I completely forgot. The pressure in this is such that I honestly could have adjusted the number down just a scotch, because the pressure levels are different with the bottomless than it is with the regular one. I'm still going to drink this because it looks delicious, but it did pour a little bit quickly. They say that you're supposed to pour these for 20 to 30 seconds. I think ideal is 25 plus. I think this one was down around 20 or just a little bit under. But with the bottomless basket, it's supposed to have more of the cream, or the crema as they call it. Let's see how good this is. Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. I wish maybe I'd taken it down to probably an 8, and it would have given me a little bit better pour. But the flavor of the coffee is still quite good. Okay. I can live with that. Here. Now it is time to show you how we do my wife's. And you're going to wonder why I have the 2 shot glasses here, but I'll explain that to you here in just a minute. Okay, we're back over here, ready to grind for my wife's cup. Well, apparently this one doesn't stay in place very well either. Woohoo! Now that basket, see, it's not quite as deep as the other one was. So it works better with the leveler. And then we give it, like they say, 10 pounds worth of pressure. Okay. Anyway, sits in there nice and firm. And look at how this one locks in. Of course, this machine is from 1986. At least that's from what I can tell that's been marked inside the unit itself. Okay, so for my wife's, what we do here is, she wants it a little bit sweeter. She's not a coffee drinker per se, but she doesn't have very much in here at all. Just a little dollop of the vanilla. Then we put it here into the cup. And we take out the shot glasses. And why wouldn't we just put this underneath here? Well, it actually does drip into there just fine. See, the pressure didn't shoot all the way up of the handle. It releases a little bit more evenly with this. But anyway, the reason why I don't just put that cup underneath here when making hers is she's not actually going to have a full shot. Now, she's also not going to have half of a shot. The first time she watched me make this, she says, "Why are you putting so much coffee in there?" I said, "Well, because the last time I didn't put this much coffee in here, you complained about it being too watery." So she likes it, but not quite a full shot, close to it. So we'll put this in here. And yeah, and what I do is I look inside the cup and I give her about this much. And then I get to drink the rest of it. There we go. All right. Over here, I've got half and half. So what I typically do, will give this, I'll release some of the pressure into a damp rag that I have here for wiping this off after we're done. I also, after releasing the pressure, I wait for it to get close so it's still, you can hear it repressurizing, and then I hit the half and half with the wand. No, I'm not going to make anything fancy, no fancy flowers in this little cup or anything like that. I don't think the cup size is conducive for that. I'm not a barista. I have no idea how to do all that fun stuff. And also, my wife loves the foam of the half and half. That's probably her favorite part of the coffee. So I run the steamer in here a little extra long just to make sure she's got a good amount of foam in there. Okay. Now, before I get back to that, we've got to get the half and half off of the wand. Keep your machine nice and clean. Okay, we're actually done with that for now. What I'll do is I'll get the half and half in here. And then I'll scoop out the foam for her. And there you have it. That is what my wife loves to drink every morning. Do you have any questions? Did I leave anything out? If I did, it's because, well, I hadn't had my espresso yet this morning and I was waiting to do this video. Otherwise, I would have done it in the afternoon for a second shot, which, you know, I typically will do around between 11 and 12. I'll have another shot. And that's pretty much it for me in a day. I don't overly caffeinate. And then my wife also will never have a second cup. She will only have the one in the morning. So I really wanted to do this all and not waste any of it because it's just too darn good to waste. So if you have any questions, let me know. What are we going to do with this channel? I don't know how much time I have for it. I will try and do something with it. You know, with 3 channels to kind of play around in, I really wish we could do it all with one channel. But unfortunately, with YouTube's algorithms, I can't do 95% firearms, you know, 2% commentary, and another, you know, 2 or 3% on cars. They just won't promote your videos properly if you do that. So I want to hang on to these. We're going to dabble with them and see what type of a reception that we get. If we get good reception, well, shoot, maybe I will, you know, put a little bit more effort into it if I see that's what people want to hear. But we'll see you soon on Espresso with Saul. Probably Espresso and Guns with Saul, but we'll see you soon nevertheless. Thank you.